Hi, RCCA. This workshop is about mastery at RCCA. Rhodes College and Career Academy is a mastery based school. This might be something brand new to you, or schools you've attended in the past might have also used a mastery model. This workshop is going to go over the different ways that RCCA uses mastery to help you learn. What is mastery at RCCA? We're going to go over a couple of things in this workshop to help you understand the way that teaching and learning works at Rhodes College and Career, such as daily learning targets, checks for understanding, RCCA Pillars 2.0, rubric grading, capstone projects, and student-led conferences. First up, we use something here at RCCA called Schoology. Raise your hand if you've used Schoology in the past. If you're an RCCA upperclassman, you've used Schoology for a few years now. If you're a ninth grader, Schoology might be new to you. Soon, once we get our technology set up, you should see all of your Schoology courses dropped in to your main Schoology page. Each of your teachers will have a weekly week at a glance that shows what you are learning and what is due by the end of class. Take a look at this week at a glance. You can see what you're doing every day and what is due at the end of class that assesses what you've learned in that daily learning target. Your teacher will go over the learning target with you so that you know what is expected every day. This helps your teacher understand if you got it by the end of class, by the end of that week, or that marking period, so that they can go back and reteach if they need to, if there's still some confusion or some reteaching that needs to be done. With that week at a glance, teachers will also utilize regular checks for understanding. During each lesson, your teacher will be checking your progress with that learning target to make sure that you are on track with the skill of the day. Even if you don't get it right away, you will get multiple opportunities to get better at those skills. This is called mastery. You will always be able to circle back and try again on different things that you didn't get the first time. That's what makes RCCA unique. We call this the mastery learning cycle. Your teachers are going to teach, you're going to practice, the teachers are going to give you feedback, and the teachers will be able to assess whether you understood the skill of the day, the week, the month, whatever. And your teachers will be able to go back and re-instruct or reteach if there's certain things that are still confusing. All right, if you're an RCC upperclassman, raise your hand if you know the 4 pillars. Teachers, take a quick pause and see if anybody can name the 4 pillars. You are correct if you said critical readers, evidence-based writers, problem solvers, and professionals. Just like pillars hold up a building, our RCCA pillars hold up our instructional model and make sure that you are learning everything you need to learn to be college and career ready. So this year, for the 22-23 school year, we've polished the pillars a little bit to make them more effective and more student-friendly. But the 4 will remain the same. Critical readers, we will practice through our RAM reading strategy. If you're an upperclassman, raise your hand if you remember what RAM reading is. It simply stands for your reason for reading, how you annotate your text, and how you make meaning of that text. We're going to be doing RAM a little bit different this year, but the idea is that you still practice engaging with difficult and challenging texts so that you can make sense of difficult things that you read in life. And evidence-based writers, we will practice through our leveled paragraphs. Again, upperclassmen, this is not new. Raise your hand if you've ever written a leveled paragraph. Good. In a later session, we'll talk about RAM reading and leveled paragraphs more in depth. The other two pillars we will work on as a school. This is our problem solvers and our professionals. These four things together make us well-rounded college and career-ready students. This year, problem solvers and professional pillars will be school-wide. Your teachers analyzed these and picked out the 6 that make the most sense to work on as a school community. Take a quick look and read this to yourself. During quarter 1, in all of your classes, you'll be working on understanding and perseverance through a task. In quarter 2, you'll be working on implementing and action planning and setting goals that you can meaningfully achieve for yourself. And in quarter 3, you'll be working on mode, which is appropriate tone and use of communication to get your ideas across. And deadlines, always an important one. This means that you can consistently meet deadlines and turn in learning tasks in the given time frame. That's important in school and in life. So these 6 things will be woven into the whole school year. You can always speak with your crew teacher or your instructors about what these mean. All right. New for this year is an edited and improved mastery grading scale. Take a look at the colors on the right. Your grades in Schoology will show up on a 4-point scale based on your mastery of the class. You can reference this chart to help determine which letter grade it would relate to. But essentially, our grading scale now looks like this. And in Schoology, you'll be able to tell where you fall on that 4-point scale rubric. And here's what those 4 points mean. If you see yourself landing in the 1 category, this means that you are a beginner in that skill and you need to revise or re-practice or talk to your teachers about ways that you can improve that particular skill. If you're a 2, this means you're developing. You're trying your best and you're working hard with teacher support to get better at that particular skill. When you start hitting 3s, this means you are reaching the competent mastery category. This essentially means that you've practiced the skill enough to show competence and mastery in any given lesson or skill. If you start reaching into the 4s, this not only means that you've mastered the skill, but it means that you're exceeding mastery in a way that you could almost teach that skill to someone else. The best way to know if you're exceeding mastery is, can you explain the skill to a classmate and have them understand? That's true mastery. So again, take a look at this. Teachers, if you need to pause and go over what the 4 categories are, please do so, because this is what we'll be looking at in class and in Schoology to help guide our own learning. So if I know that there's something I need to work on, it's probably going to show up in the grade book as a 1 or a 2. If it's something that I know that I've been working really hard at and I'm getting better at it, it's probably going to show up as a 3 or a 4. We can always improve. So the scale and the pillar strands blended together are the goals that you will have for this year. So for example, your pillar strand, let's say we're working on the pillar strand of claim. This would be in writing a leveled paragraph or maybe working on another ELA type topic. This is the strand you're working on or the skill that you're working on. These are the criteria that show your mastery of the skill or the strand. So for example, let's say you write a leveled paragraph and your first sentence is your claim. Your teacher is going to provide feedback around which level you are leaning toward in the writing of your claim. Is your claim well defined? That might put you in a 3 or a 4. Does your claim need a little bit of work or maybe clarity, or maybe you need to read the text again to develop a stronger claim? You might be rocking a 1 or a 2, and that's okay. Your teacher will help you with the tools needed to get better at that skill and to keep growing on the mastery scale. Pause this if you need to ask your teachers any questions, or teachers if you want to clarify anything, if you see any confused faces. That's okay. The next part of mastery at RCCA are our capstone projects. Again, upperclassmen, this is not new for you. Ninth graders, this might be a new term or a new idea. Every year, we have a winter capstone and an end of year capstone. The winter capstone will assess those pillar strands that you practiced in classes quarter 1 and 2. Capstone is a project that acts as both an extension and remediation if you haven't reached mastery. So remember when we just talked about claim? Let's say by the end of the first semester, you are still struggling with writing claims. In your winter capstone project, your teachers will provide you opportunities to get better and to remediate if there are skills like writing claims that you're still working on. Then our end of year capstone does the same. It adds in any quarter 3 or 4 pillar strands that we've worked on to create another end of year experience that can act as both an extension and remediation if you haven't reached mastery. So winter capstone and end of year capstone are built in to help you master anything that you haven't mastered yet in each of those semesters. Use these projects to help propel yourself forward if there's something that you didn't understand. These are for you to help you lift yourself up, master skills that maybe you missed, and pass your classes with successful grades. Finally, student-led conferences. Student-led conferences are quick little meetings between you and your instructors to discuss your progress. So at least twice a year prior to winter and spring capstone, your teachers will meet with you to discuss specific ways that you can improve. These are student-led though, so when you meet with your teachers are going to expect you to have some ideas about some of those skills that you're still working on and need to master. You'll have a conversation with your teachers and set some goals about how you can improve on some of your skills that you have yet to master. And this is a skill in itself. It is a professional skill to be able to goal set and talk to your instructor about how to improve. So at least twice a year, you'll get this opportunity to meet with your teacher and show them that you are an active participant in your own learning. All right. At this time, your teacher is going to pause this video for some checks for understanding, like we talked about at the beginning. I want you to get your wheels turning about the different things that we have shown you in this workshop. I know it was a lot to take in, and that's okay. We will practice each of these things, and we will go over them throughout the year. So, teachers, here's our 4 check for understanding questions. What are the 4 pillars of RCCA? How might RCCA Schoology Gradebook differ from what you've been used to in the past? What is the purpose of a capstone project? And what does mastery mean to you as a student? Go ahead and pause this video, and teachers, feel free to lead a discussion or have your students share with an elbow partner before sharing out some of these key ideas around mastery at RCCA. Have an awesome day and an awesome year, and feel free to refer back to this slideshow in the future if you need a refresher on anything regarding mastery at RCCA. All right, I will see you all soon. Bye.